morning.
Ryan Hunt's not on that side.
Ah, come on.
Hey, we got him switched.
There we go.
All right. Welcome to this lovely, lovely Friday late morning situation.
Yeah.
It's a late morning situation. It's been a meeting Friday, which is always great for my brain. All right. So I've got my two good friends here, Ryan and Andy. Yeah.
Hi.
Oh, we got a whole hi. All right. Sorry. All right, guys. So I was walking around WISA this past January, and I had been doing the hydro dipping and just kind of in my head just thinking about ways that I could make the leather better so, I could prevent bubbles. Anyways, and I had this whole big thing, and I was like, maybe I should try slicking some leather to see if that would tighten up the surface so that maybe some of the more open pores or the parts that I was finding that would bubble up on the surface when I went to dip it, if that would prevent a lot of it. And then I just started thinking about slicking in general. And we just don't really talk about it very much, or we don't in here. I don't know if you guys out there talk about it very much. Exactly, yeah. We slick our edges all the time, but what is the purpose and what are the benefits to slicking the surface of your leather before you start working on it? And so I brought in these two fellas because they do a lot of R&D, because that's their whole job. Well, it could be sometimes their whole job. Sometimes.
Some days it is.
Some days.
It's in their title.
Yeah. And so I was just like, hey, let's do a video where we discuss the benefits of slicking things down. Did you guys bring in your examples that you had?
Maybe. No.
Already?
Nope. I totally
There's no
forgot those.
examples.
Yeah, they should be on my table. They're the bag labeled Friday video. Got everything else in here except those. The parts I planned in advance. By 2 days.
Yeah, we're super prepared. But we really are. In any case, and there really are, even just looking at some of the samples that you guys have done over the past few weeks, because this was something that you did prior to me asking you with Denny when you were working with him.
Yep.
And so I just want to go over that and show you guys a little bit, because it can be a way I feel like, for you to kind of bring out the best in any piece of leather.
Yeah, you can cheat a lot of little blemishes in your leather or some fat wrinkles even, and still get clean leather tooling out of slightly rough leather.
Absolutely, yeah. So aside of Herman Oak, you could have really great grain through 2/3 of it, but then you start getting into the belly or into the shoulder, and you start getting these sections where the pores are open, on the belly. A lot of times cows like to lay in the grass. Sometimes that grass has some urine in it that maybe they left there earlier, and it starts to affect their skin.
Yeah.
And then depending on, when the cow goes to butcher, that skin maybe have different blemishes in different spots.
Thanks,
and
yeah, and if you're anywhere near the armpit or the shoulder,
Yeah.
that's a high movement area.
Yep.
It breaks that grain
It's
up really hard.
loosey-goosey.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're going to do some samples and show you guys just the difference in how...
Zoom in, though.
Yup, here we go. And it gets real dark because Tony still hasn't fixed it. Hold on.
Whoa.
Causes it to do that.
So yeah, all this, I started messing with it because I saw Denny slicking the top grain of his leather one day, and I started asking a lot of questions.
Yeah.
So these, it's a little tough to tell because my antique came out good on both, which I was pretty excited about. But the one on the left there, the little darker, that is that burnish coming through from the Herman Oak that you really want to see. And after you slick it, it kind of pre-stresses that top grain so that your burnish is going to pop a lot more than the one on the right where I did not pre-slick it.
Yeah, so this one has been slicked. This one was not slicked prior to tooling.
And in the past, it's really affected my antique a lot because those big pores, you can seal it
it'll
as
be
much
dirty.
Right, you can seal it as much as you want, but it's going to pick up those pores.
It's not an even surface, and so slicking it down will even out that surface. All right, so let's...
The version that Ryan's talking about is where the beveling is inside the flower.
Yeah, so you kind of see how, this is darker.
Down in the lobes.
Yeah, looking at the shadows of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So...
All right.
And isn't Ryan coming along so good on his tooling here?
What a tool.
What a tool we got right here. All right.
Oh yeah, it does lift better too. Because you've compressed that top grain, I was able to get much more dramatic lifting on these pedals than I was on the non-slicked one.
You were happier with them?
Yeah,
and I bet they
could push
stayed.
it further.
Yeah.
Yeah, they stayed better and I could push it a lot farther. Because I had pre-compressed that grain, so then when I cut it to that shape, I could stretch it further than when you haven't pre-compressed it. So...
It's just loosey-goosey already, and it's just like,
Yeah, it's pretty close
maybe.
to its max stretch as is.
Yeah.
So this, you kind of push it down and then get there.
All right.
So, yeah. What I'll be doing today is I've got a hermit oak pre-cut here, and I dug through Spencer's little backstock, and I found one that's got some pretty big areas of wide pores and even a few fat wrinkles. And I'm going to slick half of it and leave half of it untouched and just do some tooling across the whole piece to try and show kind of where it works differently. The one that's going to be really hard to show is how the knife moves through it. It is way smoother. It's a much more pleasant cutting experience.
All right. Well, first of all, what are the processes to slicking?
Start out by wetting your leather.
Ooh.
I talked to Denny and I asked him, I was like, about how wet do you shoot for when you're doing this? And he said somewhere between tooling and wet molding. So way wetter than you normally do.
Can't use a manual spritzer. Got to use an auto spritzer.
No, it's still a trigger. They just build up pressure in the bottle. These are Salon bottles.
I know. I'm just giving you a hard time.
They're so good, Liz.
Some good ASMR right here.
All right. So that is thoroughly wetted now. I usually will just wet my leather for tooling until it takes just like a beat or two for the water to finish soaking in.
Mm-hmm.
But this time you can see I've still got some standing water on there, so I'm just going to smear it around, let it soak in. This side is where I've got a little fat wrinkle running right here. And over here I've got a big area of really porous leather. So I'm going to go ahead and just eyeball the middle and start slicking with our glass slicker. Really simple little thing, rounded edges. Just keep it clean. If it gets anything on it, I just use like mineral spirits or acetone and just strip it clean. But simple process. I'll just start here. We'll make that my dividing line. And just push hard. Go all the way to the edge. If you're working on a project, do this before you cut your pieces out. Because this will stretch your leather.
Yeah.
I've already taped the back of mine, so it shouldn't stretch as much.
But you're not working on something that's like, you're not making a holster that you've cut to shape.
Right, or a wallet back.
Yeah.
So you've got to watch out for that. But you can already see some of these wrinkles are smoothed out. Well, you can feel it. Can't really see it. But I've also noticed this side will probably hold its moisture better throughout the process because it's less porous now. I usually don't have to re-soak my slicked leather. Alright, and I just went until it's good and slick. And there's a pretty
Do you try to
dramatic
slick
difference.
in all different directions?
Yes.
Okay.
So the grain of the leather, especially like veg tan, is all over the place.
Right.
So with like those rustic sheepskins we have, they're pretty much unilateral grain. So it can get really weak in one direction, but that means the grain you'd only have to slick in one direction. This stuff is a big jumble, so slick it in a couple different directions and really get it all
Just like
worked
when
out.
Denny applies his antique or his resist, he applies it from different directions, so he makes sure to get in all the
nooks and
different
crannies. Right.
weird. Yeah.
It's that on a much tinier scale.
Yes.
And then I am going to start
Yep.
transferring my carve right. Grabbed one of Jim Liddell's carve rights because I was not in the mood to draw a new tooling pattern today.
Sounds reasonable.
Use a matting tool to scrub that on.
Why glass?
It's very slick. It's a non-porous surface, so it's not going to catch or grab that grain at all. And glass is just nice if you're ever using any chemicals or casing fluid or anything. Really easy to clean due to being non-porous.
And it's like probably cheaper than marble.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
And more readily available.
Right.
Yeah. You could use any super hard, really, really slick surface, but
Yep.
Go to a hardware store and get a glass tile. Backsplash tile.
Oh.
Usually one smooth
Get a
set on.
diamond.
Get a diamond.
Yeah, so now I've got my carve right transferred, and I'm going to start carving, right?
Nice.
Thanks, Isaac. Where do I want to start? I'll start with this guy. It's always the first cut. I can never decide which one I want to do.
Let's see. Go to the overhead, and we'll see if we can.
Stop for a second. You can see it's a lot shinier. A lot more shiny.
Yeah, you can see this is the side that he's been slicking. And you can just kind of see the difference in the surface there.
Well, I can tell you, under my knife, I can tell when I cross that midline. Have you messed with this at all, Liz? Have you done this on your projects?
I have not, no. I haven't.
Well, hey, cut a couple lines. It feels pretty dramatically different.
I'll just, yeah.
Yeah.
Because his camera is there.
Oh,
so.
yeah, right. So over here is slicked, over here is not. There we go. There it is. This isn't a process I do on every project because it does take quite a bit of extra effort and pre-planning. So if it's a really nice finished product, I always do this. But if I'm knocking out a set of coasters, I'm not going to do this. It just takes that much extra time for like a production job. But if I'm doing a wallet back, I almost always do this now.
Whoa, sir.
This table is bouncy.
A little bit.
We got the good shocks on our wheels.
Yeah. So it feels pretty different on either side. Like there's a
Maybe
little
I'll do
more.
this.
Do what?
Maybe I'll do this one.
Do that line and then do the other one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's just a little more tooth to that non-slicked side.
Mm-hmm.
You know, being Herman Oak, it's not dramatic, but on the import, it'd be pretty big. Or on a flanky piece of Herman Oak, it's a pretty big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I recommend it.
All right, guys, while they kind of get started on this, I'll show you the lovely necklace. Denny finished it all up. Oh, I took it off, but so this is. So on Wednesday, we did the beginning of this. We got the stone set in. Denny had already cut everything, but that's the collar. And then he instead of just regular buck stitching around there, he did whatever that swoopy lace is.
Oh.
What is
I feel
that?
that's better.
I don't know.
I think
Say
he just
that's
came in on
buck
one
stitching,
side.
but
And,
I don't know what that is.
yeah,
I
I think
it.
it's just a
We'll ask Denny.
swoop.
The outside is a buck stitch.
Yeah.
In any case, he decided, because on this stone right here, he came up to the top and he didn't have the correct amount of slots to make it to where it was every other one. And so he was just like, well, that's a bummer. But anyways, it fits me real good.
Improvise.
And it looks real good with my shirt today. So I'm wearing it. Luna, you're fine. Came out really nice.
I don't have a fancy leather collar.
Look at that. It's so great.
Would you look at it?
Would you look at it?
Just look at
Let's look
that.
at it.
That's
Look
pretty
at
great.
Sorry, I'm trying to solve as fast as I can, which limits my brain capacity.
Oh, you're fine. Okay, let's see here. So Andy is doing the mother of all basket weaves all the way across here. Because what I really wanted to get to was
That's
the part
what Andy
where
does.
we show you what the difference in antiquing is. Because I really feel like, especially if you're carving, I think that is something, you can let her out. Chris is here now. When it comes to the antiquing, you can tell a nice piece of leather versus a really porous, like a really, maybe nice isn't the right word, a really smooth piece of leather versus a porous piece of leather in your antique job. And I feel like I see a lot of people, Luna, go.
Chris.
There's a lot of people that are just starting off in their leather work, and you're going to go to wherever it is that's local to you, and you're going to buy a piece of leather. You're going to go on Amazon and buy a piece of leather, and you're going to stamp it, and then you're going to try to antique it, and you're just going to get this really, really blotchy piece of leather after you antique it.
Yeah.
And I think that that's really defeating for a lot of people that are just starting out.
Yeah, antiquing is the last step you do, and it's the easiest way to screw up the whole project.
Yeah. And if you have this really splotchy piece of leather that comes out after you antique it, I think that that's not great. And so, for those that are just starting out, I think, glass slicker is what, like $20 maybe?
Yeah, something like that.
At the most. And I'm sure there are many ways that you could go around paying that much. Like Andy said, maybe you go to the hardware store and you find a glass tile that has one edge that's really nicely beveled and smooth, because you really want something that is nice and smooth. Because otherwise you're just going to be scratching up your leather, which won't be nice.
No.
So don't do that. But this can be something that even if you're not working with the highest quality leather, it can be something that makes a really big difference in your final product.
Yeah.
And can help you just be really excited about something. And
You can stretch your crafting dollar quite a ways.
Yeah. Because it helps you utilize more than just the really good parts of the hide.
Yep.
You know, the stuff that's already
Gives you a lot more to work with.
Yeah.
Any questions coming through yet?
They're sad they had to miss Wednesday.
Oh.
Good thing about YouTube, they're archived.
YouTube.
The YouTube.
It's fun doing these really long cuts on this pattern from Jim while the table was bouncing.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I blame the table. Andy
Like
is
I said, we got good shocks.
Yeah.
That's such a fun pattern.
Yeah, I love it. This is one of the samples I did when we got him in, and I just had a blast carving it. So I thought, hey, it's symmetrical. It's big enough, but not too much too big. Should serve the purpose just fine. I will say, on the other side, I was just thinking, man, I'm about ready to strap my knife. It's getting a little dull. Moved over to this side. Now we're good.
I feel like Bigfoot's coming. Or like T-Rex's
Right.
stomping its way.
The little water cup.
Yeah. Oh, Jurassic Park.
Finally got around to that book. It's fantastic.
I haven't read it.
Yeah.
I've been listening to Frankenstein after you recommended.
Have you been enjoying it?
Yes.
It's such a good book.
Frankenstein is amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it's so sad.
Yep.
And you really, it's just so sad.
The scientist is the monster.
Yeah. He just wants a friend and he just wants people to like him.
Yeah.
Slick before you cut out part for wallets or for purses.
Yes.
Uneven. Yeah, and I think because I'm a person that kind of oversizes my I go to my side. I don't have a table big enough to lay out a whole side and lay out all my parts on it, and then I don't have the space for that. That would be cumbersome. It wouldn't work well. And so I go to my piece of leather and I lay out my pieces onto the piece, and then I cut a big rough shape.
Leave them some breathing room.
Yeah. So that because then I cut down to size after that. So once you cut that big rough shape, if you're tooling it or just gonna antique it or whatever you're gonna do, then you just slick the whole thing.
Yep.
You slick the whole thing, then you lay out your parts.
Yep.
Yeah. Because slicking isn't, there's no negatives to slicking your leather.
Just time. Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I said the only time I don't do it is if, when I do coasters, I try to keep them under 20 minutes a piece.
Right.
Just because if you want to sell it, you gotta get it pretty quick.
Get faster slicking.
We could go get one of those auto slickers like they have at tanneries. The things that'll take your head off.
Yeah.
With the big glass
Tooling
slickers.
on the next piece of slicking.
I'm gonna go with a steep beveler today.
Yeah, guys, I'm in love with this necklace. I think it's really great. It may or may not go out to retail at some point.
If it does go out to retail, it's going to go with display only.
That is correct.
Yep.
Because it just fits my neck so perfectly.
I just want someone to buy that hair-on tote bag I made so I can quit looking at it and reliving those videos.
I think we made it not for sale.
I know. That was, I think, the most frayed Tony and Justin have ever seen me.
That's the most afraid I've ever been making a movie.
Yeah. I don't know why that one was such a bear.
I think I was on the river.
Yeah,
I did that.
I believe you were.
You didn't have Andy to help you figure out the technicalities of the strap.
That's true. I always say, Andy's really good at leatherwork and I'm really good at meetings.
The first time I ever put 2 adjustable slides on something on one strap, that was fun. It's this is really simple. Why can't I not figure it out?
Right.
So for those of you that didn't get to see the tie from 2 weeks ago, was it just last week?
Isaac's over at his desk.
Hey.
No, that was mean. That
We were
was
just talking
mean.
about that earlier.
No, I'll go grab one. I'll get it back.
You can grab me
I can grab
if you want.
Me too.
I got it. It's good.
Look at that tie.
That must be on 120 again.
Is it? I didn't mess with it, I promise.
It's
Yeah.
just this camera.
Tony did a real good job dyeing it up.
It's because it's a Sony.
You mean it's perfect?
Let's not have camera arguments in here.
Yeah. That's where me and Tony will start to get into it.
Justin got a camera, and then he already got a Canon, and then he got a Sony. He was like, "Hey, this is actually pretty good." And I was like, "That's the end of that argument."
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Isaac, what do you shoot?
Fish with a bow.
I wish.
That's Spencer.
I fell
Sorry.
for the Sony hype train.
Oh, jeez.
I'm just kidding. I like that camera a lot.
Me too.
I do not regret my purchase.
The first couple weeks you did, you're like, oh, I hate this thing.
That's true.
Did I really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were an angry boy.
Until everybody else
What did I not
showed
like
you
about
how to use
it?
the camera.
You had to learn
Oh,
something.
you couldn't figure it out.
The lens I had got with it was wonky. I remember that. I tried to skimp on
That's not bad either.
You fell for the kit lens.
That's
No, I
awesome.
didn't. I got a Tamron
I like
that did not work before I got the one that I have now.
Western corporate casual.
That's right.
I'm so mad. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Well, so what's up?
Now that Ryan moves to Tulane.
Well, hey.
How much of that you gonna do?
About this much over there.
Okay,
Till
cool.
it feels right. Yeah, we had to do something a little faster because there's no way I'm going to get this tooled and antiqued in time. But I'm going to try and do some beveling at least, hopefully get some pear shading so you can see that burnish difference.
Yeah. I should have just left my stuff here and then tried to hydro dip something that had been slicked, but I didn't do that.
Well,
If
the
you
whole
want to go
table
over, we
would
do
be
have some
bouncing.
scraps for like slicking the back or things like that if you don't mess with that. I think there's some token in the drawer. Because you can also slick the back of your leather and have like a pasted back.
Yeah.
We've got that Angela stuff in
And
here
we've
too.
got the new Angelus. I don't really have a granite, but that's alright.
So there's one on Andy's table, I think. If not, it's under his table.
Or Denny's table.
Or Denny's, yeah. They're all over the place. This is
Long
a broken one in front of the hardware boxes.
No, we don't talk about that one.
Andy, did you see
Yep.
your new job title when the lower thirds were up there at the beginning?
Mm-mm.
It's a good one.
I didn't.
It's your official title now.
Where at?
Oh, it's gone. Oh, there it is. Eater of nuggies.
Yep.
I just enjoy tooling, folks. I was very happy when this was like, hey, do you want to come do a tooling video? Yes, of course.
No, there is no white dye. White dye is
Not a thing.
You can paint things white.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can never dye lighter.
Baseballs are more of a crust leather.
I thought you said Spaceballs.
Yeah,
Spaceballs.
Great.
it's more of a movie.
Great movie, yeah.
Sorry, Isaac.
All right, so this is what this piece of leather looks like now.
Pretty gnarly.
So he's got some flanky.
It's got some flesh in it.
And just for everybody that wants to know, this is the inside of the hide, right? So like if I'm looking at it in my hand here, This side of the leather is this side. This is like the inside on the inside of your
that
body.
That touches the cow. That touches the rest of the world.
Exactly. So this is technically the hair side.
Mm-hmm.
So like if we were talking about it, because I've seen a few comments out on the social world talking about the hair side. This is the hair side.
Or the grain side.
Which is the grain side, which is the top side, the skin. This is the skin. And then this is the flesh underneath.
Mm-hmm.
So just as long as, so we're all clear.
But I'll still never tease anybody for saying smooth side and fuzzy side.
That's right.
Because if that works for you, that works for you.
Somebody give me some water.
No.
Thank you, Andy.
His has casing fluid. Mine doesn't.
That's true. I do have a tiny bit of casing fluid mixed into mine.
If I didn't work here, I would think that that's some kind of like joke that you would play on someone.
Casing fluid, yeah, like blinker fluid.
Yeah.
You guys now get to see the haphazard way in which I do all my beveling. Just
We'll
kinda
try not to judge.
jump onto whatever line is nearest my hand next.
Is that possible for you?
To not judge?
Judge someone's leather work?
Oh, I constantly judge everybody's leather work.
It doesn't even have to be leather work. Just constantly judge.
I'm real good at it.
Every morning she walks in, she goes, "Ryan, you're a subpar person."
And I walk by next and go, I agree too.
Never would do that.
That's not true.
It's not.
We all always give each other happy good mornings.
I'm a lovely person. Sometimes.
You're always a lovely person, Liz.
All right, so let's just see what happens when we maybe just slick.
Yeah, I've not tried slicking the flesh side with water before.
Probably won't hold well, but it might be a good place to start. Although do you want to work the stuff in before you slick? I don't know, I've never really slicked the flesh side. I always just glue something to it to
Right.
hide it.
Yeah, this is a great option if you don't want to line a project. Just paste the back and then you're good. The end goal is like if you buy bison or buffalo from us, buffalo rather, it's got a pasted back.
Mm-hmm. Well, like the bridle has a pasted
Oh, yeah,
back,
bridle,
things like
yeah.
that, yeah.
Now if you ever get your bridle or bison split, it doesn't have that anymore. But
It's real fuzzy.
it's still very fuzzy. Tokenol works magic for that, which you guys do have some.
I
What did you
do.
put on? You
Right
got
here.
water on
I
it?
just put water on it, yeah.
Oh. Yeah, that ain't gonna do nothing.
Yeah.
But now we know.
But now,
Don't bother trying to slick the back with water. That ain't it.
I just roughed it right up with my hand there.
Nice job.
Thanks.
Your hand must be like sandpaper.
Is it?
I don't know.
So the other day, Andy mixed liquid saddle soap and Elmer's glue.
Yeah.
We got something pretty dang close to Tokenol at the end of the day.
No, they're pretty smooth. Saddle soap and Elmer's glue.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I think the Tokenol smells very Elmer's gluey.
It does.
And it feels like liquid wax and Elmer's glue.
Liquid wax.
Yeah.
Melt the candle.
But, well, we tried it with carnauba cream, but that didn't quite get the right result.
Yeah.
Because that's a liquid wax. Atom Ball might do it.
Gumballs. You could probably mix it with gumballs. That would work. What did you say?
Do you have a camouflager?
Yeah.
What did you say, Ryan? You mixed it with what else?
Atom wax.
Atom.
That might do it.
I don't know where I got gumballs.
I don't either. Here you go. Just one, right?
When you guys slick the back, how much stuff do you use?
Get it like really gross and gray, so that's enough for the whole piece.
Cool.
So maybe
Well, I'm only going to do half of it because then I was going to do the Angelus on the other side.
get you.
With the thing with the
Paper
slicker,
towel or
it'll
something.
get the excess off.
That's true. You can just kind of squeegee your excess off.
And then
get a
do you
paper
let it
towel
sit
and-
for a minute?
Nah.
No, you just start burnishing?
You have gum dragon here?
No.
Sweet.
You could go get something.
I
after a
could.
little.
I could go get some.
Wow.
Well, thanks for the offer, Justin. He's like anything to get out of this room.
All right, so this is Tokenol.
We also took a pro.
Yeah, Tokenol and Token Pro are very, very similar, just a little bit different viscosity.
Yep.
The Tokenol is a little bit thicker.
Which is why I prefer Tokenol a little bit over Token Pro. It's not a drastic difference. But
Latigo says, I have slicked backs with Angelus Neutral Luster Cream for years.
oh,
Is that their shoe cream? Neutral Luster Cream.
Whoa,
yeah, look at that go.
got a little extra.
Mm-hmm. And it turns a really, really gnarly gray color for a while. But once it dries, it goes away.
Yeah, we're watching you.
Do you slick both sides? Like, do you slick both ways or just one way?
Just kind of scrub it around is what I always do.
Scrub?
Yeah.
And then at the end, I'll come back with like a canvas. Like once it's kind of reduced and dry.
Tony, are we still going to be friends after this?
What did I miss?
Yeah. We were watching Liz from two different ways, and then Isaac looked at it on whatever that thing we are on, Twitch, and he looked at me cross-eyed. He's like, "I see you both." Yeah.
It's a big time Friday around this place, I'd say. I think most.
Feels real Friday.
I think every day this week has felt like Monday.
I've done a lot of work this week, guys.
Hey,
Liz,
Jennifer
you've
Flynn.
lived in meetings all week.
Yeah.
I feel like
It's been a few of them.
just a few.
Elizabeth. Jennifer Flynn said hello.
Hi, Jennifer.
You can probably ask her how her rug is going.
How's my rug?
We were just talking about you this morning.
I was just telling Tony how sad I am that he sold it so quickly.
Your rug again.
It was the coolest cowhide rug I've ever seen in my whole life. And I got to have it for all of a week before Tony sold it out from under me while I was in Tucson.
I mean, you had a week.
It wasn't long enough with that rug. You guys remember the rug?
I don't.
It was like brown, and then it had the white and like white streak across the shoulders with like black eyeliner.
Picture, Ryan, you can see it.
It sounds rad.
It
It's
was
the most gorgeous
rug ever.
I was not.
We'll show you guys too. Tony will
I was
put
not
it up.
expecting anybody to buy it.
There'll never be another one.
They will. I have not yet seen another one, and I have not seen one in my 13 years.
Yep.
Never proving me wrong.
For the SLC testers, ever don't edge bind with
Yeah,
the
I
Class
didn't understand
26
I didn't
and an edge binding attachment.
We would love to get one of those to test it out.
Do they make one?
So
Yeah, we've tried to get you to get it for us
they
before.
don't necessarily make one.
A different
for
company does.
The Class 26 or the Cobra or the Cowboy. There's like 5 different brands that are very similar. There's one that Texo makes that should fit on the Class 26. It's like $120.
Yep.
If somebody wants to get it and try it for us, let us know.
Just send a link to Chris with a whole bunch of hearts and some protein powder.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'll say that didn't get us the Sewa antique gel.
What you do is you send it to Liz and you say, "Hey, Liz, can you have Chris get this for us?" And
Yeah.
She sends it and it happens.
It's already feeling pretty good. All right. So this is Tokenol right here. This way. This one is Tokenol. And so now I'm going to use this brand new Angelus burnishing gum that we just got in last week. It just went live on the website this week. If you want to grab yourself a container, I think it's like what, $10, $11?
$10.95.
Perfect, $11.
$10, $11.
$10, $11 right in there. So we will do that on this side and see what happens. Andy and Ryan have been playing with it, and it is really awesome. It mixes with their paint color, so you could do, like, if you wanted to do an edge and a paint color, you can mix a little bit of this with some paint. You can do an edge.
Very tricky on edges.
Okay,
'Cause
they
if it gets on the
antiqued
face,
with
you're
it.
done. Yeah.
They antiqued with it, which was really cool.
Without using a sealer.
Yeah.
Andy also did it pasted back with blue paint mixed in there, and it was awesome.
Yeah, so we have a video coming up in a few weeks where we'll talk about kind of this, and we'll bring it in. Look at that, Anderson. How fun.
Uh-oh.
Jeez, Andy.
Nope. This way.
You and your steady hands.
Nope. Maybe?
Oil.
No.
Go grab some.
No. Will you please? Do you have it on manual focus?
Yeah.
All right, well,
Hang on. Hold on.
there it is. There it is. That's a Sergey basket weave. Sergey tool, $4.75. $4.75 with a little Celtic knot in the middle.
And then just the camouflager everyone has.
And then the camo tool of camo tools. This thing. It's a real nice edge.
Classic camouflager.
You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Nope.
Alright, well, we're just going to do the same thing I did before, even though this is way more liquidy.
Yes, it's very slimy.
I'll pretend like I was a Nickelodeon kid, even though I wasn't, because we didn't have cable. Isn't that they slimed people?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Tony still is a Nickelodeon kid.
Heck yeah.
Has kids?
That'll
No,
do
we
it.
only watch Disney.
My dog and cats don't really care too much what I watch.
Yeah, same.
Lucky.
Now, we will occasionally put, like, a live feed of just, like, a bird feeder or something on the TV, and the cat loves it. She'll sit there and watch it for hours.
So my mom used to clean for this couple that they had a room. They had was it a Great Dane?
Oh, my.
I think he was a Great Dane. Yeah, they had a Great Dane. And he had his own room that whenever they left, he would, like, that was his room that he got to be in. So instead of, like, a kennel, he had a room.
Nice.
And really the only thing that was in it, there was, like, a bed in it. And then a TV. And they would have, like, the Animal Kingdom channel or whatever, the animal, whatever it was, channel running. And so, like, we would just be over there cleaning, and he would be in his room just, like, watching the Animal Kingdom channel, which always made me laugh.
So Walter really likes talking. Like, he likes to just hear chatter.
Uh-huh.
So when I used to work at a warehouse job and I worked pretty wild hours, I would put Letterkenny on, because that show's pretty much non-stop chatter. And
Nice.
he'd just have Letterkenny running all day.
All right, well, it doesn't really look too much different when you oil. Can you tell which side is which?
Yeah. This is the...
Hang on just a second. We're watching Liz Slick.
Slick Liz.
I can see it, but I don't know the camera picks it up.
It's tough, yeah. And it's funny, this is a
Looks
very,
good, though.
like, feel-based comparison,
Yeah.
which is always great to do a video.
But once you antique, it should be a visual comparison.
Yes.
I have seen so many, like, you see, like, you know, new people will get on and they're, you know, on one of the leatherworker groups on Facebook, and they're talking about their stuff and they're posting pictures. And you always see those beginners that have done their first or second or third or whatever antique job. And it's just not, it's not ideal. It's not ideal.
Until Denny taught me about this, I had no advice when people would say my antiquing is really inconsistent, or it keeps coming out, the
Yeah.
whole piece is dark. And I would just tell them, like, well, seal it better, I guess. But now I have advice for it.
You're blocking the airflow there.
Making
it
it
up.
warmer.
Makes those coils get hot faster, choking them out.
Yeah.
Alright, Liz, did you want to see your rug again?
Yeah, let's look at it. To be on my table until the end of time. Frickin' Tony.
You should know better than that.
Frickin' Tony. I'm gonna be mad at you all the rest of the day now.
Okay.
It was such a, I mean, it still is a beautiful rug.
I was saying, Kevin will sell your chair if you're
Can
not
you
sitting
will
on it.
that to me? Jennifer, can you put it in your will that comes back to me? I mean, we're probably the same age, but maybe if you're like 10 years older than me, you could die 10 years earlier than I can, and then the last 10 years of my life will be the best ever because I'll have that rug.
Because you're dead.
Now that it's soaked in, you can still see that side's a lot shinier.
Yeah. So this side.
Oh yeah.
Tap, 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 tap.
Yeah, you can really see that light hit it. and it just ends right in the middle. Nice.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Now you got to seal her up.
Yeah, we gotta figure out what we don't have quick shine.
You guys are totally unprepared. You have to bring all the things that you need.
Well,
into
we
this
forgot
room.
that quick shine is gone right now. I miss it very much.
I actually prefer RTC Resist.
Generally
my
what I
first.
use, but it's not the best speed-wise.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing I recommend for antiquing is the RTC Resist. You gotta let it sit for like an hour or so to dry, but then
Oh, that we are. Only Andy's work.
much more forgiving.
Yeah. Somebody wanted to see my necklace again.
Oh.
You want to just go back to the overhead?
So Jennifer said she might not introduce herself at Sheridan now. And then she said the picture reminds her that she needs to clean.
I put this one on.
Your house looked fine.
Yeah, it looks great.
Does it need to go on Ryan?
No.
It makes more sense now that I saw you wear it this morning because I like put it around my neck yesterday and was like, how would one wear this?
When I saw Denny working on it, I asked him like probably 2 or 3 times in like 2 minutes what he was working on because it just wasn't getting
Didn't
to
click.
my brain.
She's not going to have you pour her a drink at the King's reception party.
Why not?
Don't leave your food unattended.
Don't. Take your food and your drinks to the back.
I mean,
of the venue.
I need to know that you've done it before I start plotting your demise. Otherwise,
I
what's
need to
the
see your
point?
will before I serve you drinks.
Hey, did you bring your will by any chance? Good to see
That's
you.
how
Let's
you
just
do your
get that
drinks.
notarized real
You don't
quick.
show your ID, you show your will.
Show your will.
They're both quite nice. This one
Yep.
still needs to dry a little bit, but
Yep. Yeah, that nasty grayness goes away as it dries. Because it's pretty gnarly at first. I think since last time I've been on a video, I got married.
yeah. Oh,
There it is.
congratulations
Married.
to Ryan. He got married 2 months ago.
January, yeah.
Yeah.
So, 3.
It's still March.
Or yeah, end of January. Yep.
What does the cab size? What does the cabs that size roughly cost?
Some.
I'd probably
There's
say
probably $100 in cabs on this necklace. Because I think I took all the prices off when we did it, but I think this one was like 38, and then these were both probably in the 25 range for these, and then these were like 10 to 15. But it depends on the stone that you get. You know, there are cheaper stones. We're doing a cab sale next Wednesday. Oh, look at this. I'm like one of them
Elvis.
fancy ladies.
You look like Elvis.
One of them fancy
One of
ladies.
these, one of those fancy ladies that you see. They're like 65 and they're still super
Highfalutin.
chic.
You're highfalutin.
Okay. Yep, one more.
I've always wanted to be like a popped collar girl, but I can't figure it out.
A girly pop, if you will.
All right, Andy's putting some tan coat.
Yeah, also
we'll
works
see if
great.
I can mess it up.
I've been enjoying tan coat as a resist lately.
All right.
It is made to thin antique paste.
Yeah.
But use it as a resist, thin coat. And then
Thin coat.
Yeah.
Well, this stuff is thick.
It's goopy, yeah. But you still got a lot on there that can spread around, but a lot of ground to cover. But then I also use it on a piece as the top coat. And since it thins it antique, anything on the surface, you just do a surface swipe after you've put your tan coat on,
Mm-hmm.
and it increases that contrast. So it strips that top film of antique off your whole piece.
Interesting.
And you get really good contrast. All right, beveling's done. At this point, you can see a little bit of color difference. It's not huge, but the big thing is there's a pretty big moisture difference right now in my leather.
You feel like this side is more wet?
The slick side. So we are slicked here. There we are. Slicked here, not slicked here. Some minor color difference, like this leaf and this leaf.
I'm gonna go blow out
Pretty
the
good.
excess.
Pretty good difference in burnish there.
Mm-hmm.
Once we get into the pair of shaders here, it's going to be a little more dramatic. Oh, stops. Gotta use my fancy stops. I finally got myself the pair of curved stops for tooling parts. Never have those points in projects, Tony, where you just go, who the heck did that?
No, I went to Anderson. I didn't realize that he had gone.
Oh, that's why I had just gone,
What is the imprint you are using?
Uh,
Liz.
Liz.
I don't know. What imprint am I using?
Nothing.
What are you talking about?
This is the flesh side of the leather, if you missed the first part. But, alright. Thumbprint.
And he's back. What did you just do?
I took a air blower and blew out the little
Excess. Yeah.
You blew it with some air.
Yeah, an air compressor hose is really handy when you're applying resist.
Omar says an airbrush is a good way to apply resin and clothing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Agreed.
Yeah, yeah. If you have an airbrush, that is the ideal way to apply most chemicals.
Yeah. I was telling a customer yesterday that getting an airbrush is secretly getting a hobby in cleaning your airbrush. Because running resin through an airbrush will wreck it if you don't clean it out. How do I do that? So I think.
Hey, brown bird.
So. Yeah. You around like so. Sorry for everyone watching me just throw my piece of leather around.
I guess it's Ryan piece of leather. Oh.
Let's see. Right now I'm using the SKP 861.
Oh, what imprint? This is a Jim Linnell Carve-Right.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, Jim Linnell's Hearts Carve-Right pack.
Yeah.
This is the kind of main piece out of that one.
So you can find those on our website. Did you put the link?
I did,
Perfect.
I absolutely love this
So,
design.
yeah, it's very pretty. It even includes some borders.
Yep.
So,
Very cool one.
yeah, go check out the Jim Linnell Carve-Rights.
Not getting huge color differences yet, unfortunately. But that's the thing, too, is this piece of leather just may not have a big difference in the burnish on it for the stage, just because it was pretty tight-grained.
Yeah.
But it, like I said,
Yeah,
I've
he
never
didn't pick as ugly as a piece of leather as I would have chosen.
started doing it. Yeah, that's fair. Should have picked a better example to make the point I'm trying to make, but you know me.
Look how pretty. Andy, what are you going to do with this lovely piece of leather when you're
I
done?
don't know. We thin it and click it back up.
Give it away!
Give away, give away, give away.
Someone's gonna have an Anderson Norton original in their house.
All right, so this is the slick side.
Yep.
So this is the slick side over here. Now we got a resist on it, so you're going to antique it.
Like on the quarter side of the one that you didn't slick, you can still see the warbles from the fat wrinkle there.
The warbles!
Right here.
No,
And that's, yeah, the piece Andy's working on is import. I don't think I mentioned
maybe
that.
an inch and a half over
Yeah.
from the left side.
Here.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the belly or the stretch marks or whatever.
The glare hits it because I could tell a huge difference from over here when the glare was.
Yep.
There's gloves in there if you want one.
Nah.
All right.
We need
He
gloves.
does use gloves.
I did. I was several years ago. We had
Several.
yeah, we had a guy here that was our maintenance dude named Nick, and he was a welder by trade. And he was getting ready to leave. He had gotten another job somewhere. Anyways, he was getting ready to leave, and I was like, Rusty, before he goes, can I have him make me a coffee table? Because we had gotten the Millennium Falcon, the Lego Millennium Falcon, the big one, and I was like, I need a coffee table to put it on when I'm done with it, and then I can put an acrylic top over the top of it. Anyways, for like a display. And so I had him build me this 3 foot by 3 foot steel coffee table. The thing is a tank.
That's
like
awesome.
When you run into it with your shin, you're gonna break your shin before it moves.
Did Miko knock himself out on it?
No, the dogs do fine. It's me. I run into it all the time. And in any case, we still haven't built the Millennium Falcon, and it's been years ago. So, anyways, it's just a coffee table. There's no top on it, and so it had gotten a little bit rusty. And so last night, I decided that night of all nights, I would clean my coffee table. And I was like, Chris, what do I use to take the rust off? And of course, he had some chemical that I needed to put on it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, and so I put the chemical on it, and then you had to let it sit. Where am I going with this story? What am I talking about?
Gloves.
Oh, gloves. Thanks. And so I put the chemical on it, and it just it's a chemical reaction. It eats the rust off. You just have to let it do its thing. You can't scrub the rust off, which for me is difficult to get through my brain because I just want to scrub. Anyways, and so a couple of times through the night, I would take a paper towel and rub a little area to see if it was done cooking yet. And then, and the very last thing before I went to bed, I did it, and it was pretty black. But I went and I just took the paper towel, and then I was like, oh, it's kind of coming off. And so I just kept scrubbing, and I think it wore itself off last night. Anyways, I got done, and these 4 fingers all had a black line on them from where I had scrubbed it, and it had soaked through the paper towel. And I just went to go take my contacts out, and I was like, don't want to use that hand. Which is awkward to use your left hand to take out your contacts, because that's not my dominant hand, and it's a weird thing to pinch your eyeball with your wrong hand.
I couldn't do contacts with either hand.
In any case.
The neat thing about black walnuts, you can wear 2 gloves and then still dice your hands.
Yeah. Stuff's intense.
Let's see, I have been watching Shogun. Anybody else been watching Shogun in here? No?
You know what popped up on my thing to watch last night?
Shogun?
Yeah.
I want to.
It's so good. I'm ready for the last 2 episodes, Michael.
I just might have to get Hulu for it.
Playing the stranger game, taking out your contacts. Yeah, I can't ask Chris to do it either because he's scared of eyeballs. He can't touch his own.
Yeah, same. I can't use eye drops, so there's no chance I could use contacts.
Yeah, it's really fun when he gets a piece of metal in his eye. We were in Oklahoma a few weeks ago, because what he's been doing is he takes a shot glass and he puts saline solution in it, and then he just flips it up onto his eye and blinks into the solution.
Right, we
of
do
the,
it.
yeah, but they used to make tiny little actual it looks like a shot glass, but it's an eye cleaner.
Yeah, little irons kits, yeah.
Yeah, and so we I found one of those and I got it for him. He hasn't had to use it since then. You want to watch Andy wipe this off, Tony?
If you can ever see the thing in your eye, just fold over a tissue or a paper towel, and you can just...
I'll get a Q-tip wet.
Yeah.
Like if I get an eyelash in my eye.
Just put my finger in my eye.
But usually I just start whimpering until my wife saves me.
Yeah, you guys really should have picked worse leather.
Hey,
you know...
we only have good leather, so I'm gonna tell you.
Somebody else picked it for me, so...
Well, that guy sounds like a chump.
Where's your other? You have those samples hanging up that were bad.
Yes.
I'll go get those.
Over above Andy's desk. Yeah, those
They
were
were
much worse
good.
leather.
They were good bad samples.
Good examples of using rough leather. Now that you can see. That's your non-slick side?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll just put that down there.
Don't scrub, just wipe.
I have my own way to do things.
Depends
So
on
your
what
way's wrong.
depends on what level of antique you're going for.
I'm trying to get a little bit excess out of the...
Cracks.
Yeah.
What color did you grab? Sheridan?
The only one.
The best color, yeah. It's I have 2 or 3 antique colors at home. Sheridan's the only one I've got the big can of.
Can you tell the difference?
I mean, I can, but...
Yeah,
it's
the
hard
left
to-
looks way muddier than the right to me.
Way muddier. It's so much.
I mean, it's not a huge difference, but if you look up where his hand is right now, There's nothing like that on the right side. Like on the camera, it actually is a little more dramatic looking. As Andy scrubs it away to fix it. But Liz has my good bad samples. That was the day Denny explained it to me. I made those samples.
Yeah. So if we go to the overhead, so you can see, you can see the pores in this leather, but this side was slicked. So you can kind of see they've been slicked down, but you can kind of still see the texture. And this one, they were not slicked down. And you can see how much more antique those pores pulled even after being resisted.
Much better example.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was a little disappointed yesterday when my antiquing went really well on those coasters. Because the non-slicked version on what Liz has is much more typical of my antiquing results.
Yeah.
Whereas the slicked one really blew me away.
So you can just see how much cleaner. So like all this is just the pores of the leather. Even though it was sealed, it's still, there's divots in there and you just can't pull that antique back out. No matter how much you try to clean it up afterwards. But when you slick, I'm assuming these were cut from pretty similar sections of the hide.
Just the same strip cut into two pieces. They're
Perfect.
neighbors.
Right next to each other. So you slicked all of this pore down so that whenever you go to antique it, it does not collect all the antique in the pores. So, yeah. So it really does. It makes a big difference. Is there anything else on here?
I should have told my dad to watch. He's been struggling with antiquing lately, and we just
You can watch later.
Yeah, I was saying I've explained this process to him. It'd be good to see. I'll just watch it with him Sunday when I go see him. Just watch myself.
Yeah, so even on this one, so this is a nice piece of leather, you know, like this was a pretty good, this is a piece of our import heavyweight, right? Or is this the stuff that we cut up a bunch from?
It might be a dammering one.
The skirting? Yeah. All right. And so you can see the shine that like ends right here. So this side was slicked and you can really feel, like you can feel the slickness of this leather. Not that this isn't smooth, but it just has, this has just that glossy feeling to it.
Andy, that's sharp, man.
Yeah, this looks really nice.
That is the best, like, herringbone you've ever done.
So, this one you have to look real close, but you can see the smoothness versus the texture of the hide on this side. Like when you get it in the light.
Hey, we're getting some pretty good burnish color differences here.
So right side burnished.
This leaf versus this leaf. You can see a pretty substantial difference.
And once your leather dries, you'll really be able to tell.
Yep.
It'll be...
Because, usually I'm used to what it looks like on the left, and when that dries, pretty much all that's going to go away. On the right, that color's going to stick around.
Yeah.
In the places on the left where it's dark, I had to hit a lot harder.
Gotcha. Yeah. So, really nice burnish.
Not bad for an hour of tooling, though.
No, you made it pretty good.
No, it's still Jim Linnell's pattern.
Yeah, This is Jim Linnell's Cartwright.
Yep.
We've posted a link. You can go look at all the Jim Linnell Cartwrights that we offer.
The hardest thing to show on camera.
Yeah. So that's the whole thing.
Yep.
Nope, that didn't work.
That's far worse.
So.
Yep. Yeah, so you can see a pretty good difference on the burnish color there. And like Liz was saying, if I had picked a worse piece of leather, boy, it'd be more apparent.
Yeah. But then, we'll go through and we'll antique it once he's all done, and we'll have either Justin or Isaac video that process, so you can kind of see what this piece of leather looks like antiqued on both sides, with the slicked and not slicked side.
Yeah.
So.
And you guys don't have to watch my background today, so that's nice.
That's right. You don't even watch Denny background.
Nobody wants to watch anyone background.
What are we doing on Wednesday?
It's the last. We're doing roundtable on Wednesday, and then Friday will be trading cards because it's the end of the month. So we'll have Kevin and Rusty in here on Wednesday, and then after the show on Wednesday, we will be doing a cabochon sale. So if you are interested in buying cabs, Wednesday at noon we'll be having a cab sale. So pop on in. It will be only on Twitch, not on Facebook. Only on Twitch.
It's the end of the month
as we know it.
But All right, guys.
Pretty good.
Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you learned a little bit of something today. Thank you. And thank you. Don't be weird.
He can't. Not be weird.
I just have
Same,
stuff all
though.
over my hands.
Do you want to, just before, this is
yeah.
still kind of dry. This I slicked down with the Tokonol.
Yep.
So Tokonol on this side, Angelus new burnishing gum on this side.
Ooh, it feels way better.
Yeah, so it feels really good. You can see that all those fibers are laying down. They're not coming back up. When I do this with the water, they just came right back up.
Which one did you think slicked it faster? Because that's a big thing with slicking the grain, is it does just take a minute.
I actually think that this dried quicker.
Yeah, and it
than
feels
this. Yeah, this.
glassy.
Yeah, this
The other one you still have some
is like
texture.
a little tackiness to it,
mhm.
and this is much smoother. So
Yeah.
Angelus, I mean, this is brand new.
Hey guys, good product. Don't know
Go,
if you do this.
yeah,
but good
go
job,
check it
Angelus.
out. It's pretty cool. We're pretty excited about it, and then we'll do some more with this here in the coming weeks to kind of show you some more
Yeah.
options that you can do using this product.
Well,
So
one of the benefits of these versus like gum trag,
Mhm.
once this dries, gum trag sometimes the grain pops back up. Like this
Yeah.
stuff does not.
Yeah,
gotcha.
that's
It
true.
stays stuck.
Stay stuck.
Stays stuck.
We like it when it's stuck. All right, we will see you next week, guys. Have a great weekend. Bye.
See ya.
Bye, everybody.